Hello, everyone. Thanks again for tuning in to another broadcast episode. Today, I have a special guest, Albert Bitton from Germany. Yeah. And we're going to talk about the role and experience of a Kambo practitioner and how influential those things are. So, a little bit about Albert. He's a devoted Kambo practitioner who's deeply rooted in shamanic traditions of the Amazon. He spent several years living in the Peruvian jungle, where he immersed himself in plant medicine work and learned directly from indigenous elders. These experiences shaped his path and instilled in him a deep respect for the healing intelligence of nature. His work is guided by intuition, presence, and love. Beyond Kambo, Albert has trained in trauma integration, relationship coaching, and somatic healing. He brings a calm, grounded energy to his sessions, holding space with clarity and deep compassion. Albert sees each Kambo ceremony as a sacred opportunity for reconnection with the body, with the truth, and with the essence of life itself. And his mission is to support people in remembering their own inner strength and wisdom. So, without further ado, I'd like to welcome Albert. Thank you so much for being here with us and chatting today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. I would love to hear more about your origin story with Kambo and how you ended up where you are today.
Basically, I'm Israeli and I live in Germany for the last 11 years almost. And when I moved from a very small town in the desert of Israel, and I moved into Berlin, which is completely different climate. My body really didn't adjust well. And until I went to this workshop, and the guy told me, every time I see you, you are sick, a guy there. Maybe you should do Kambo. And he's like, what is Kambo? And it's like, it's a frog poison that you put on your body. And I am saying, if it's gonna make me healthier, and I was literally 3 weeks, a month sick, like disabled in one way or another. I said, okay. My first session was, as everybody, I imagine, terrible. But it was in the same time, like, it took me about half an hour. I remember receiving the combo, cursing, fearing for my life because I had poison. At the time, I didn't know better. I didn't know nothing actually. And I was sure I'm going to die. Like this sensations and crazy experience was like, whoa, super overwhelming. I said, I'll never ever do it again, ever. And the guy said, let's talk in 2 days. I went and I rested a little bit. I took a shower. I got out of the shower and my body was like factory default. Like I felt the change. Like it was really a crazy change. And I said, okay, so we do it tomorrow. And from that, I've done, because this is the story, or this is the way the guy told me it should happen, that I need to do 3 sessions a month in order to maintain. So for a year or so, I did 3 sessions every month, like repeatedly. And it went also from 2 points to 3 points to 8 points to, because he told me every time you do combo, you need to have more. I reached to, I think my last session with this person before I went to the jungle was 24 points, which
Wow.
when I told it to in the jungle when I arrived, and I said, yeah, I received 24 points. They were like jaw dropped. It's like, what? Why? We never do something like this. And he put them on my ears. He put like 4 points on each ear, on my spine, on my chest. Like he had an app that I would say, okay, this is what I want to deal with. This is the issues that I want to heal. And he said, okay, for this you need to put here. For this you need to put here. It was very funny, um, thinking about it now. And when I arrived to the jungle, throughout this year, I didn't think that I want to serve Kambo. It was a great medicine for me, but it was not for me, not my place to serve. And then I arrived to the jungle and I received a session that was, I think, was 4 points, and it was the strongest that I've ever experienced. And the frog was talking to me, like it was like almost like ayahuasca session. And then I asked there, can you teach me to serve Kambo? And they say, okay, but there were some difficulties. So the teacher there told me, go to this woman, she serves ayahuasca, she serves tomorrow, drink ayahuasca and ask the ayahuasca if you should serve Kambo. I did it, and my whole session of ayahuasca was about frogs. The visions were frogs. It was from this is the first time also that I experienced the ridiculousness of the medicine, that if it wants to give you a message, you'll get it in so many ways. So you can interpret it however you want, but you understand this is the path. And then it was very clear to me, and I started to learn and slowly kind of like working with it. And more people heard that I'm serving, more people arrived. And during my first, I would say, 2 years, I was traveling a lot. And every place that I was, and I knew that there is a Kambo practitioner, I would meet them and learn, and very like observing how they serve. I would give my body to be served to see how they work until I get back to the jungle, and then this is when I connected with indigenous groups and like with the Matses, with Robert, with Robinson, with um, Don, oh, I forgot his name for a moment. Um,
Lucho?
Lucho, yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. Ah, it's like um, I'm not used to this interviewing thing, so my brain is
Okay.
working out. So yeah, I met Don Lucho and Robinson, and I've done crazy things with Kambo. I met also in the jungle Peter Gorman, and with him I had quite a bit of sessions of like really consuming a lot of knowledge and information. Um, yeah, and then I just started to work, but I realized that there is a big difference between what's happening in the jungle and what happens here in Germany, and I imagine also in the States. Like people that wants to receive Kambo, they don't have the tools, the they don't even have the body chemistry. I don't know how to define it. So I started to expand the knowledge and to see what else is needed. And when I serve Kambo now, it's a really long session. There is a lot of conversation before, there is a lot of conversation after. It's just like to give a whole um, all-inclusive healing experience. This is, and of course, combining knowledge of the West medicine.
Yeah. Well, you brought up such a great point that there can be such a stark contrast between Western and Indigenous practices when it comes to this medicine. And it sounds like you were able to like witness that really clearly. So I'm curious, what do you see as like the main differences of like the Indigenous methodology or styles or perspectives versus what's evolving in the West and developed countries?
Um, First of all, I think the base is tradition. Like they have the things, they have the combo sticks, they have the combo, they do the combo in a certain way, and it didn't change since it was discovered by them somehow. As opposed to the Western medicine that we always trying to invent the wheel. the same wheel that is already invented. And this is something that I'm really like, oh, why do I need to change? I don't need to fix something that works. I don't need to um, evolve it into something that it's not needed at the end, you know? Um, like I have a story that I can share with you that really emphasize the difference. When I was with Donald Lucho and his family, there was a kid there, like he was, I imagine, I think 5, 6 year old, and we bonded really, really nice. Like we were playing together all the time. We were like, he was every time that we were going in the jungle thing, he was with me. They like because it was like I'm a big guy and he was like a chubby kid, so they kind of like los gorditos. and and one day we did Kambo, and he said I will do with you, and he was like
Oh,
6 year old, 5 year old, and we received the same amount of Kambo, the same tamishi, the same stick. I'm lying on the on the ground falling apart. The combo was extremely strong. It's something that we harvested the night before. And he, like, while I'm suffering, and he's standing above me, purging and holding a fan and, uh,
oh.
like, you know, taking the flies and the mosquitoes away from my face while purging. He's just like standing next to me, and I'm looking at him. I was like, ah. There's like 5 year old doing it, and I'm suffering like this, falling apart, can't move. And this is like a really strong reality check, that they live this. This is something that is part of them, and we are adapting it to our life. And what I see a lot of practitioners do in the Western medicine is that this adaptation is coming with a lot of respect, or with a lot of let me improve, some of the improvement are shortcuts, in my opinion.
Hmm.
You know?
Yeah, just like you said, anytime you're innovating or changing a tradition, there's always an invitation to check in of like, am I reinventing the wheel here? Does it need to change? And clearly there is a difference in the needs and physiology and biology and culture of people in the Amazon who, as you said, are living and breathing this medicine as children, right? It's so integrated as part of their way of life. And then you have people in the US or Europe that are coming at it, for the first time in their 30s or 40s or whatever. And it does seem like you can't necessarily expect the same results in a 40-year-old Matses man as you would in a 40-year-old European man or American, even as a better example, because they've lived such different lives. So yeah, it's a tricky space finding where those adaptations can serve different populations and where they actually can diverge away from traditions that are rooted in wisdom and intelligent choices and design.
Yeah, I mean, the what a lot of people don't, I would say it differently. A lot of people that disagree with me about this point, they completely ignore that these people, like the indigenous people, kids and adults, they drink this water. Their immune system is completely different. Their body is operating completely different.
Mhm.
Uh, we don't digest in terms of like things that could be harsh on our body. You know, um, we don't digest maybe we 90% of what they digest. Again, my whole experience and my whole life is a lot of stories that taught me in a really sometimes painful way we sat in a circle and we drank Masato, and everybody was fine in the Masato, and just me and a friend of mine that just arrived the day before, we were purging both ends the whole night.
Hmm.
Same, like we were like maybe 20 people sitting in the circle drinking Masato, and me and my friend are broken, purging, feeling weak, and them like, oh, that's fine, you know. So we don't have this mechanisms in our body to handle what they are handling.
Hmm. Yeah, totally. Like the environment out there is so much harder, and they have so much more resilience than the average person living in a city because they're encountering pathogens and stress, and they really have to make sure they're getting all the nutrients out of the available food that they have. And I've definitely been places that you've been, where we're getting sick from drinking the masato or the food that's, boiled in river water and stuff like that. And meanwhile, the kids are drinking from puddles, and that's just part
Yeah,
of their life. And I think also their environment can mean that like they have different needs because they need to be so, immune vigilant against bacteria and infections and things like that. Because, Kambo does have this very immune boosting effect, which seems to really fit their needs and their environment. And so they're able to engage with this medicine really regularly, because they need it to survive in their environment where everything's trying to eat you and kill you and infect you. But then you go somewhere like the US or Europe, and we have, very sterile environments and food supplies and water supplies. And if you took Kambo as much as a Matses person does, you might find that it actually can push you out of balance and create rashes and things like that. So it's very interesting, just like how their environment and the way they live really calls for them to use the medicine in the traditional ways that they have, which may not necessarily be entirely translatable to what someone in, America is needing or doing.
it's impossible in my opinion. You know, it's really every every human, every race in the humankind has evolved and adapted to its environment. You know, in Africa, they are black because there is a lot of sun and the skin, you know, and it's possible to adapt into the ways of the other, you know,
Mhm.
but it needs to be done eh, very gently, very, you know, the body needs to adjust, the body needs to learn new ways, new sensations, new new warning sensors are being triggered when you're going through these experiences. Um, in what I see, and this is something that I'm bothered at times, and I see that people are inflicting, I'll use this word, inflicting Kambo protocols. I really don't like this word in Kambo. They're inflicting these protocols that they've seen someone in the jungle is doing 3 sessions or 5 sessions, and so oh, let's give it to a person that never received Kambo 5 sessions, 6 sessions, and instead of helping them, they are fucking up the electrolyte balance, fucking up a lot of parts of the body that uh, instead of making them better, they're making them a lot worse.
Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about like protocols. Because I'm totally in agreement with you. I have a beef with protocols. They feel like these premeditated recipes, and everybody wants the quick, short answer, like, oh, this person has this disease. What's the protocol, right? And it's like, well, you're missing the point. Otherwise, we're just replicating allopathic medicine where, oh, you have this disease, you get this pill. And there's not a lot of nuance or individualization to that. And Kambo actually gives us an opportunity to change how we approach an individual's case. So I would love to hear more from you about, yeah, just like what's your opinion on protocols and what's an alternative that you think is more appropriate?
Um, there is no protocols. The people that say there is a protocol for whatever for will be, those are the people that I would recommend to stay away from. Really, you know, there is two things because when I serve, I am in complete presence and understanding who is in front of me, like connecting in a personal level, connecting it through the heart. All this, all the shamanic medicines, they are heart medicine. They are you're supposed to feel. And if you're putting a protocol, okay, today 5 points, come tomorrow 5 points, come the next day 5 points, and you're supposed to feel better. If you're not feeling better, it's something wrong with you. Do more. You
Hmm.
know, it's a lot of. First of all, I've seen it. It's greed, trying to hook people, which I really don't like. When practitioners are hooking clients in order to have them for years and years coming back. And the second, when you're in protocol, you're not present because you're thinking, okay, this is the way it needs to be. You're framing it before you actually experience it. What's going on? So I can give you an example. I was sitting with a friend of mine, and I just told him I just came back from the jungle one of the times, and he said, "Oh, you're serving Kambo? I'm doing now a series of Kambo for Lyme disease." The practitioner, a guy that I know, um, said that I need to do 10 sessions. And I told him, listen, don't do 10 sessions. Do one, see how you feel, see if there is changes, see if there is something moving, and then do the second one. My personal experience, the more combo I did, I had better feelings. Like it's made me sensitive to understanding how my body runs. But it was one integration, understanding, and moving to the next one. And he told me, no, the guy said that I need to do 10 sessions in a very strict time. And this guy ended up in a hospital with
Oh no.
kidney issues. It's messed up his kidneys.
Oh
I'm like,
no.
and he came back to me and he was completely, it was funny, when you told me when we met, no, don't do the 10 session, I didn't really listen to you because I interpreted it as a practitioner rivalry. It's like, no, I mean, this is the energy that is moving. If you're contradicting something or contradicting someone, it's rivalry. And it ended up to be not good. I have a bunch of people that I know personally that suffered uh, some some really bad consequences of from going into protocols of um, how many times to do combo, how many points to do, and it was crazy. Like I can tell you if you want, I have a lot of stories I can share. So
Sure.
I had a person that she came to me, she wanted to do combo, and I said, okay. I served her the first session, it was okay. Second session, it was okay. The third session, she she came to me and she said, like the first session was 3 points. The first, like something around 3 points, and the second maybe four. And she came to me and she said, eh, I want to receive 7 points. And I asked her why, and she said, I had it in a dream. And I said, okay, this is you. I'm gonna tell you that this is going to be extreme on you. I saw how you respond to 3 and 4. 7 will be extreme. She said, yeah, I'm okay with that. I served her the 7. It was an awful session for her. She fainted
Mm.
several times. She had a seizure. She had the muscle cramps, all the whole 9 yards of it. And later, she told a friend of mine that told me immediately that another practitioner told her that I don't know to serve Kambo, that the protocol for healing is 7 points. And this is why she asked for 7 points.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
if you do less than 7 points, you're not healing.
Wow, there's so much to unpack there. Like, I mean, I'm totally in resonance with you, and I definitely have people show up. They're like, I want 9 points, and I'm like, let's do three, and focus on like creating a container that's actually effective. And yeah, people can be so attached to like the numbers of the gates without even realizing there's like so many other factors to consider, like point placement and the intention and their chemistry and the potency of the stick. And also that like having these extreme and traumatic experiences are not necessary to access the healing, right? Um, yeah, it's wild how there's so much misunderstanding about, what Kambo is, and people I think sometimes try to apply these pharmaceutical or like Western medicalization philosophies to Kambo, which is dangerous, like you said.
It's extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
This is I heard about someone in Mexico that she had a friend, and the friend did 3 points on the chest, like on the sternum, and it was great. But I noticed after, the point on the sternum was tiny, like really, really small. And she received a full-blown dose on the sternum of 3 points, like really big, and she had a heart attack.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You know, there is, I think, one thing that you didn't mention in the differences is it's another person. Like, it's not you.
Mm-hmm.
If this person received 7 points in a session, even with me, 9 points or 11 points, sometimes it's necessary. When me and the person getting to the conclusion, okay, let's blow out the system, you know, uh, then it's fine. But if someone um, coming with a demand because this person had this amount, he wants more, or they want more, doesn't work.
Yeah.
And I had, like sometimes I felt that I don't feel comfortable serving people that coming with these demands. Like, we can talk about contraindication a little bit if you want and my approach to them, but um, I would say that I would refuse people on attitude to give them combo than on conditions. Like, I
Mm.
would serve people with conditions that generally are considered contraindications, and I have a lot of experience in that. But I will not serve people that are stubborn, people that don't listen to me, people that are in the conversation that I do before, uh, they are not present. They are there because someone told them that it's good, but they don't really want it. This is the reason for me to say, okay, maybe you need to rethink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and just like you said, um, listening is actually what needs to be adopted in this practice. Like I said, people come to me all the time and they're like, oh, what's the protocol for this? And I was like, do a session and see how it goes and listen step by step to your body. And, Kambo is such an incredible somatic tool. And I know you have a background with somatic practices as well. And I think that's like really the true gifts of Kambo is like the ability and the opportunity to tune in and listen and then evaluate what step is next. But a lot of people just sign up for the 10 sessions, right? Because someone told them that's what they need without considering the individuality of each person and just all the factors at play. How could you possibly predict how many sessions someone's going to need to get to their goal without without even knowing how they respond to Kambo at all. It's just bananas when you think about it.
It is. It's like bananas is like a understatement, really. Um, I, sometimes I hear stories that blowing my mind. Like people are saying things, even in the groups, in the combo groups. I I lowered my participation a lot because you get a lot of hate or a lot of fire from people that disagree with you, and they're attacking on a personal level. Like it was crazy. People defending their position. And I would say another thing. Cambo is an open source. Like you serve Cambo in a way, and I serve Cambo in a different way, and we're both right. You have your experience, you have your unique superpowers, you have your unique special gifts that you got throughout your life. And this is why the people that are coming to you are coming to you. And the same is for me. And we both adapted this medicine and these practices to serve with our uh, unique superpowers. And it's not that if you know I'm trying to remember, like I have some another story. I'm trying to remember the details. um I had a person that she called me and she said, uh, I have breast cancer. My doctor's saying that I have 3 months to live. And it was, I think, 3 years ago.
Mhm.
And um, and she spoke to another practitioner, and the practitioner, luckily, this woman was sensitive enough and listening to her own intuition. And she said, The practitioner didn't feel good because the practitioner offered her a series, like a really long series of combo. And when she asked me how many sessions I need to do, like before we even met over the phone, and I said, we start with one. We see how you respond. We see maybe it's not even your medicine. Maybe you will do one, and then I said, I'm going to look for something else. And she said, because you said that, I'm coming to you.
Mm.
Like, and then she shared with me that this person offered her a protocol for cancer and healing cancer uh, in a very ridiculous um, amount of sessions. It was like, I think it was over 20.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had someone come to me with a tumor like in their uterus. This was years ago. And she insisted that she wanted 10 sessions. And I was like, I don't know if you need that many, but I'll do it if that's what you want. And I think we did about 5 or 6. And she was like, I think I'm done. And I'm like, yeah. And I gave her a refund for the other ones. And she actually ended up becoming a practitioner later down the road and has been serving now for many years. But yeah, I was, in that case, she was lucky enough to be sensitive and attuned enough to know that like, oh, this is feeling like overly brutal and abusive, right? To keep going, and especially if you're in a compromised state and you have a tumor or cancer. But yeah, it's crazy the ideas that people get, and there is like so much massive amount of misinformation that's just circulating around the internet in an echo chamber. And so people who are serving, people who are, allegedly trained and things like that, they are part of the problem because they're just recirculating misinformation and these ideas about these protocols and what combo is and what it isn't, and all these ideas that, like, when I really try to explore them and find the origins of these ideas, I can't find any like traditional origin. I can't find any scientific origin. And I'm just like, where do these ideas come from? Like, people are just pulling them out of their ass, I think.
I mean, a lot of the contraindications are coming from um, trying to understand what's happening uh, with Kambo and give it the logic of Western medicine. And it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't work. They are not even on the same plane. They're not walking in the same uh, areas, trying to trying to understand and tell you this maybe even for you it will be a little bit controversial and I served a person with a pacemaker in the middle of
Ooh.
the jungle, like really we were completely isolated. We were in, I don't know if you know San Martin in Iquitos. It's like halfway between Nauta and Iquitos, and then walk like 3 hours into the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
And we, I did a dieta there, and we drink ayahuasca. And I think I on the fourth or fifth sessions, he's like, I don't understand. I don't feel anything. Like I'm drinking ayahuasca, I'm tripping, like really having crazy visions. I'm in my own bubble. I'm having my experience, and this guy saying I don't feel anything, like I don't have anything.
Wow.
And I kind of like I told him I didn't offer him. If I said, hey, go investigate a little bit on Kambo. Um, and he said, "What's that?" And I said, "It's a frog." Da da da. I gave him the information. I want to do it, but I said, "Okay." He told me that he has a pacemaker. I had a moment, and I did this really process with myself, checking in. Am I, as a practitioner, comfortable to work with this person? He was desperate, so there was a lot of compassion to his condition. It was really, really, it was a need to have some impactful breakthrough through something. So I decided to do it. And the guy just had the most insane sessions. He purged and he was, it's like he peeled also, like layers of his persona was breaking up through the session. He was crying, screaming, like he was very, very emotional. It's like the Kambo uncorked this emotional blockage and that he was suffering from this that he came to heal. And I was like, okay. He fell face forward to the purge, stood up. That was the best thing I've ever done in my life.
Wow.
And then I spoke. I have to say, I'm not 100% solo in this when check in, when some people tell me I have this condition. It's not that I tune in and this is. I'm also learning a lot about the condition. At that time, I didn't feel that I need to, but I spoke. I have two friends of mine here in Germany that they are doctors, and I am having conversation with them. It's like, hey, this is what, and the doctor told me, pacemaker, it's an insurance policy actually. If the person has a pacemaker, if the heart go too fast, the pacemaker will slow it down. If the
Mm.
if the heart is going too slow, the pacemaker will pace it up. It's just maintaining the heart in the same rhythm all the time within a range. So the
Mm-hmm.
fluctuation of the Kambo heartbeat rate, normally it doesn't go to the high end of the pacemaker. So it's still within the normal, even though
Mm-hmm.
for us it feels like it's going to explode because we never experienced that before.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still within the normals of what our body and our heart capable to do. And it's something that is I'm trying to find the right words. I know it's very controversial, and I really don't want people to say, "Oh, Albert said it's possible."
I mean, but clearly it is. I I'm so glad that you shared this story because again, I'm aligned with you where I think a lot of the contraindications that are out there listed are theoretical at best. And there hasn't really been documented incidents of most of these things that are decided that they're contraindicated. And we're in a very much an experimental phase as we explore Kambo with all these kind of new health conditions that are not typical in the jungle. And yeah, I've heard many stories and I've worked on many people who are contraindicated as well and just tuned into that individual case. And I think, like any intervention, you have to really look at what is the potential for the risk versus the reward. And in this story, it sounds like this guy had a lot to gain, and he did. And you guys were willing to take that risk. And then you learned in the process that, like, okay, at least this one case, this person had a positive experience and did not have any catastrophic result, which is so important. And even though we have to be selective with what risks we take, because we don't want to hurt anyone, there is no other way to learn. You have to do trial and error, unfortunately. And sadly, that means that some people might get hurt in the learning process, which, we don't want, but that is how you find out if things are truly contraindicated or not.
I mean, you know that there is two things, and this is there is two important things to when I asked and when I read and when I spoke to elders in the not just from the Matzes, people that served Kambo 15, 20 years before me, talking to Peter Gorman. Peter Gorman is a rest in peace. He is a massive, massive, massive container of knowledge. I was sitting with him for hours and we were talking and I was like asking questions and he was like, yeah, this, that, this, that. And the thing is that combo doesn't hurt. This is the common uh, belief within these people that are, I will say, the OGs, the people that were there from way before it became a hype. There is a belief that Kambo doesn't hurt. If you are approaching it with respect, if you're approaching it with wisdom, with presence, with listening, there is the chance that you hurt someone are very, very, very low. But if you're reading from a notebook, oh, I need to do this and this because you have this, this is where you hurt people. You know, can talk about the woman that died in Australia. I think she had, I don't remember the correct number, but it was above 9 points on the chest plate,
Mm,
which this by itself, stupid. I don't have another word, stupid. The, the main factor of how intense or how uh, strong the combo will affect the body is the proximity of the points to the lymph clusters. In this area, we have the most lymph clusters. This is the place, it's basically the barracks of the soldiers that protects our body, like the T cells. And when all of them were triggered at once, it's completely overwhelmed the system and complete like the heart. I don't think anyone could hold this amount. I remember that I did 3 here and it was for me so overwhelming after done hundreds of sessions of combo on my body, on my shoulders, on my back. But when first time I did on my chest, it was insane.
mm,
So I'm like, okay, if I experience this in 3, above 9 is a it's a death kill. It's a death shot, you know.
yeah.
This is protocol. This is someone thought about idea to um, for to do a quick fix.
Yeah. So how do you feel about chest points? Because I know that can also be controversial with some people. Do you administer people with chest points, or do you just have more caution around them? What's your take?
I will talk about placement in the body in general, and then I
Hmm.
will go to the, if it's okay.
Yeah.
Um, the only difference in placements is uh, intensity of the session. And I'm talking about the physical, practical aspect. Okay, when you put it on the legs, the Kambo needs to travel in the lymphatic fluids and the first lymph clusters that they're in the a little bit above the knees, and then they travel. But from the moment that the Kambo hits the lymph clusters, it's immediately in the blood.
Hmm.
So it's a, it either will happen in 20 seconds or in 5 seconds. And also there is a big difference if you put it on the left or on the right side of the body. Like depends if it's going towards the chest or away from the chest, with
Mm.
the veins and arteries. Um, this is the difference of intensity. However, with that, I will say some people want to address stuff that are energetic and more giving it the shamanic healing that Kambo creates a lot of chaos of energy in the body. And when you place the Kambo point on a specific, like if your knees hurts or if your I don't know, back hurts, and you put the Kambo there, there is actually with pain there is relief because of the peptides, the peptomorphide morphioid peptides, and there is this. My intention is to treat this. So energetically and a little bit of the concept of placebo effect, just go there.
Hmm.
So I would, but also I would not do it lightly. Like I will challenge. I had a woman that decided that she wanted a point here. And I heard a lot of people doing it. I know that a lot of people, a lot of practitioners are doing it. I didn't feel comfortable. And it was not to protect her, it was to protect myself. It's like I noticed that she's in a not in a very stable state of mind. She's dealing with a lot. Every combo session that she came to me, she had a very powerful emotional purge. And I was like, okay, I don't want for you to look one day in the mirror and see the scar on your face and chase me, and just it was like I didn't feel it's the right thing. And this is when I say no, when I don't feel comfortable to do something that it's being emotional, and I'm saying something that I'm really need to be careful how I say it. Being emotional or being desperate to receive these medicines are equal to an intoxication, in my
Mm.
opinion. Like you're so narrow-minded on a target, on a goal. It's not intention. It's like I want to do this without taking
Hmm.
into consideration a lot of other factors. It's like it's not different than to be super depressed, that you feel that you want to kill yourself, suicidal, or if you are super high on drugs that you are, or that you want to make love to anyone. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
These states are no different than intoxication, and as a practitioner, I have the responsibility to not fall into the destructive or the unaware emotional request.
Yeah, it's like escapism, essentially, when you put all this weight on this tool fixing you and being an external thing that, resolves all your problems for you. And I see all the time, like people come and they think Kambo is this like medical intervention that's going to fix them, and they're not willing to take accountability for their part in how they are actually creating some of the patterns and negativity in their life that they're holding. And until people are ready to take full accountability and responsibility for that, they won't get results. And I've seen it, I've seen people with Lyme get incredible results because they did that deeper shamanic work in the space. And then other people that just want it as an antibiotic. And then, oh, it didn't do anything. I'm still sick because they didn't go deeper. They didn't look at the energetics that were involved in their illness, which is part of the gift of Kambo is it's such a multifaceted medicine. It's like mind, body, and spirit. You're kind of targeting all these things simultaneously.
Yeah, you said something like mind, body, and spirit, and this is one of the first things that I learned in the jungle. Like this was when I had it was very embodied transmission from someone in the jungle. That is like we are formed from four bodies. You know, we have the physical body, we have the emotional body, we have the mind body, like where we process thoughts, and we have the energetical body. And as
Mm,
we go about life, those bodies are going out of alignment, and this there is a desire always to pull into alignment, and this is the illnesses that we are experiencing. You know, a lot of people thinking, oh, I'll just do Kambo and I have a my thing will go away. My you know I'm um, trying to think like I know that in this field, um, and I will tell you a genuine concern that I have. Like I have a lot of stories that people, I'm afraid that people will copy my actions
mm,
and they cause harm. You
mm-hmm.
know, so it's
Yeah.
like that's this is why I'm really weighing my words. Um, 1 second, sorry.
It's okay. You can tell people,
uh,
don't try this at home, folks.
yeah, try it at home only if you are sure. If you're asking yourself and your body, mind, and heart are telling you, "Fuck yeah, I'm I'm happy to do that. I can do that." That's then trust yourself. I always say,
Hmm.
you know, I get a lot of messages from practitioners. Oh, I have this person. He has this condition. Da, 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 da. And then I give my opinion, and I always write at the end. You are there. You are with the person. You are feeling the person. You know, look at this person in the eyes, listen to how they speak. See, do you feel comfortable serving? The fact that it's possible to serve this condition does not mean that you should do it, you know?
Hmm.
Mhm. Like I served once person with uh, schiz like schizophrenia.
Hmm.
And it was very challenging session, but we did it.
Hmm.
It's like in the middle of the session, it's like, oh, I need to go to get my jacket. It's like, no, I got your jacket. Come here, sit. You're doing Kambo right now. I was like, Kambo? What is
Hmm.
Kambo? Ah, Kambo, Kambo. And it was
Yeah.
very it's like the person is in and present, and then it completely somewhere else, and then is in, it's present, and I need to sit there with a lots of patience and just have it's possible, yeah. Do I recommend to people that doesn't have the experience and the patience and also physical strength? Because sometimes you can have a crazy psychosis that you need to, uh, I would say, in a very critical way, defend yourself. Like people
Hmm.
go completely out of bounds. You said something before that reminded me something that I really would like to like. I would like to go back to that. Um, just my brain works like this. Sorry. Um,
Yeah, and we can circle back to it. We are kind of getting to the near of our end of our time here. Is there anything else that you would like to share? Because we've talked about so many things and so many controversial things, which I think is important. We need to talk about these things and we need to talk about them where we can separate the person from the idea, right? Just like you
mhm.
said, people are fighting and judging each other, which makes it so that we can't have critical discussions about these things and look at them from just like a practical and logical point of view without demonizing individuals. So I think this is really important thing that we've done is like talked about these things that people have very strong opinions about and highlight that there's a lot more fluidity and nuance to these concepts and these ideas than people give credit to. So I thank you for that.
I like actually I do have something that I really want to say that I would like this was like you must say that. Um, Many times I see people saying when people are looking for a Kambo practitioner, they are going to meet the frog. They are not coming to see me. Or I'm
Mm,
just there for I don't know, they are inventing some hippie phrase of words. It's like I'm just there to hold the space. I'm just there to and it's really I'm bothered by that, because i- in one aspect it's giving an exit of taking responsibility and be accountable to what happened. On the traditional aspect of it, when you ask, this is kind of like a common saying in the jungle. When you ask what's the most dangerous thing in medicine or in combo, they will tell you that a lazy man will serve you.
mm,
This is like, they will not tell you heart attack, don't do it there, don't do it there. You can do it anywhere, on your body. I know that Robinson told me about his grandfather that he had Kambo everywhere on his body, including his penis, his testicle, it's like
wow.
everywhere on his body he did Kambo. And it might be a story because you know, it's it's a good story to captivate whiteys in the jungle.
Yeah.
But this is the talk. But they are saying the essence of the person who serves is transferred while serving. When
Hmm.
when this is why they use the server saliva to mix the combo to serve. And if the indigenous gives a lot, they give it more importance than actual harm that can happen to people, then there is something very important there. And if you are uh, canceling yourself from this energetic, let's call it an energetical contract, that someone comes to you because you have this skill that this person is needing, and you say, oh no, it's not me, it's the combo. You might miss on the healing, and you might miss on the connection, and you might miss on everything that the session could have been. So this is something that is really important for me to say. Like when people coming to, and I received a lot of fire about it. I was blamed by a woman that because I'm a man and I say it, it's right. Like it went completely into this man woman in conflict, and I was like, okay, I'm not going there. This is not where I'm going.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that when we put ourselves in the center in the session, this is when less problems will occur. When you're
Mm,
fully present, when you are there, when it's you, and in a very, if you think about it, Kambo is a very intimate thing. You know, you witness people purge, and if the session goes beautiful, or shit themselves if it's going completely to the other direction. but it's very intimate. It's a very, like, the person needs to feel that the practitioner is there fully, and not just, I'm going to give you the combo and I'm going to walk away and give you space and stuff. And again, I will go into the open source thing. Sometimes it's needed, but not as a way of doing things. Like if someone needs, if you someone comes with a lot of fears and empowerment and showing themselves they're powerful is needed, the practitioner could take a few steps back, but not have it as as a habit of serve and go.
Yeah, it's like that unwavering presence that you mentioned a lot is like presence is actually really what makes someone a good provider more than anything else. And yeah, I would say the presence and the demeanor and the energy of a practitioner can make or break a session for someone. It's the difference between a healing or a traumatic session. And while I do think it's important to acknowledge and honor the power of the spirit of the medicine itself and the intentionality and actions of the participant. There is still a very critical piece of who is the practitioner, um, and how do they show up energetically, just like you said, because it really sets the whole tone for the container, which is going to dictate how that person feels safe to navigate their own vulnerable experience.
It's about trust, you know. If the person comes and feels, you know, one of my teachers from different, like from the sacred sexuality and from the relationship coaching and from the somatic, she used to say, safety is an inside job.
Hmm.
You know, I can just be there and be the best way I could be to allow them to create their own safety, you know. But if there is, I mean, sticking to ideas, like if a practitioner says, okay, this is how things needs to happen, this is da 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 da, da, and there is no room for observation, for listening. Like if a person comes to you and says, "Oh, I'm really really scared." If you say, "Oh, don't worry, it's nothing," or if you say, "Yeah, it's okay to be scared. This is a scary experience. You're going to put your body through an ordeal. It's scary." And everybody is scared at one point in life, and then give them a piece of what they can come out of it, you know. Fear puts you in a fork that one side goes into preservation, which is like, okay, I'm going to protect myself right now. I'm going to
Mhm.
retreat, or into courage and bravery, and then have the sense of achievement. It's like, wow, I just did this, and they will never be the same as they were before. And sometimes it will take twice to go to a practitioner. Sometimes it will take once. Sometimes it will never happen. So there is a lot of things that the way the practitioner present himself, their self, um, can make the session really, really good or terrible to the person while
Mhm.
while doing the same exactly while doing exactly the same thing. You know, the action does not change, but how you bring them in and sending them out.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree with you. Well, I've really thoroughly enjoyed this conversation with you, Albert. And yeah, we touched on so many really valuable points, and I think this conversation can bring a lot of light and provide some like food for thought for people to chew on and think about as well. So yeah, where can people get in touch with you or find out more about you and your work?
I'm a now I live I live in a very small village in the center, the geographical center of Germany, like somewhere between Hanover and Hildesheim. Um, it's challenging because this is not the population that ever met or thought to meet Kambo or any other of my shamanic practices. So uh, it's challenging to get to me. But if you really want to come and have I offer a weekends like that people comes for a weekend, which including a whole uh, shamanic healing experience, which I must say, it's something that is being built together with the person. Like it's starting with Zoom calls and understanding the needs or understanding the conditions and and then creating a tailored healing experience that intuitively I think it's for them. They can find me through Instagram, send a message, or we have a base website, me and my partner, which is a really cool story, by the way. My partner was my student in the first Kambo training that I've ever done.
Wow.
Yeah.
Edgy.
Yeah. Inappropriate relationship, but it's amazing love. Best
Aw.
relationship ever. And we have a
My
baby, of course.
partner just went through my training as well, so I get it. Sometimes you have to break the taboo a little bit.
I mean, during the course, of course, she's making fun of me about it because from the moment I saw her, and I'm kind of like being the romantic now, from the
Mhm.
moment she walked in the room, I said, "Oh no."
Ah, this is gonna cause trouble.
This is gonna not gonna cause trouble. It's gonna be very difficult for me to stay, professional.
hmm
And I manage most of the course. Like at the end of the course, I told her, "Listen, I can't stop thinking about you." And she said, "Me
Oh,
too." It's
oh,
like,
that's so
okay,
sweet.
it's
Thanks for
done.
sharing that. Well, I'll be sure to post your Instagram handle in the show
Oh,
notes
yeah.
and then your website as well so people can get in touch and explore working with you if that's an option. And
Yeah, I'm really
yeah.
happy. The website is cambolove.de because it's both of us on the website.
Oh, all right. We'll
That's
make
how
sure
is
to
it.
put that in there so it's easy to get access to. Well, thank you so much, Albert. I really appreciate your
Thank you.
time and thanks for everyone who listened. And yeah, stay tuned for more Frogcast episodes on all things Campo. All right, tuning out, and we'll catch you guys next time. Thank you.